Let's cross to Mexico first, though, where the polls have closed in the presidential and indeed a whole brace of other elections as well. But the presidential election of particular interest because it seems that the candidate Andrés Manuel López Obrador is going to become the new president of Mexico. Let's go to Stephen Woodman, journalist based in the Mexican city of Guadalajara. Stephen, good morning.
Good morning.
Many elections in that country. We'll get to those in a few minutes' time. But the presidential election, a new president.
Yes. Well, there were surprising scenes here because the ruling party candidate has already conceded the seat before the official election results are even announced. And it looks like the left-wing candidate, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, is going to be the new president of Mexico.
And the fact that the opposition then has conceded, that points to a big victory for him, I guess.
It points to, the exit polls point to a landslide victory with him receiving almost half of the votes.
What do we know about him?
Well, we actually know a lot about him because this is the third time that he has run as candidate, and he's running on a left-wing platform of combating corruption, which is one of the main concerns of the electorate, and also combating violence. But this time it looks like the electorate has decided to throw out the ruling party and go for him.
And what does the seeming election then of Mr. Obrador, what's this going to do for relations between Mexico and the USA at this time with Donald Trump saying some of the frankly vile things that he said about his neighbours to the south?
The foreign press has often cast López Obrador as a response to President Donald Trump, but he's been around long before Trump's presidential run. This is his third time running. He's actually been quite moderate in his language regarding Trump and NAFTA. And really, this election actually focused on domestic issues, especially, as I said, corruption and security. It wasn't really about Donald Trump at all.
We said, of course, it's not just the presidential election, but the congressional elections as well. All the seats in Congress, local elections too, I think, across a number of states in Mexico. Has Mr. Obrador's party, maybe you can't tell this, but has his success been reflected by his party's success in those elections?
It's a bit early to say that. The early exit polls look like it's going to be a very positive night for him and a very tough night for the ruling party. It looks like this could be the death of that party as an effective political force, at least.
I was in Mexico for a couple of weeks, and we stayed in Mexico City, and the number of people that said to me, Stephen, "Oh, you're going to Mexico? Have you got some sort of death wish going to Mexico City?" I thought it was a fantastic place. It was wonderfully safe. We had a tremendous time and didn't ever meet anyone that wasn't entirely lovely, apart from one traffic cop that tried to shake us down for a few hundred peso. But this has been a very violent campaign, hasn't it?
It has indeed. At least 145 politicians and candidates have been killed across Mexico since last September when the election race began. So it's definitely, for local politicians in particular, this has been a tough time.
And will the new president be able to make Mexico a less violent place then, in places where it is violent?
Well, this is the thing. His victory was anticipated long before today, but it remains to be seen how he'll be able to combat Mexico's problems and deal with the security issues. But he was running on a promise of change, and voters they went for it.
Fascinating. Stephen, thank you for that. Stephen Woodman, journalist based in Guadalajara in Mexico, with